Hey guys, it's your boy Queen, your boys back with another video. If you're new to my channel, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on my post notifications so you guys can be notified once your boy posts another video. So today basically we got Baddies USA episode 2 recap, y'all. I did do episode 1, so y'all do go check that out. I'll be dropping every episode and recapping every episode. So y'all let me know if y'all keep wanting me to recap these videos, honestly, and your boy is gonna keep dropping, you feel me? So y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all let's get into this video, guys. Okay, so y'all know how episode 1 left off with Cold Killer and Tinkerbella fighting, and also Biggie and Smiley from fighting. So the episode started off with that. Biggie felt some type of way that Smiley was running behind the cameras and stuff, and she was like, "Get back on set, let's get in the pink." You feel me? And honestly, I feel like Biggie and Smiley, they ran like 2 rounds, but it's like you could tell like Smiley really didn't want to fight, honestly, and Smiley was killing me with the confessional look, like the ninja slash Muslim outfit. I'm like, come on now, Smiley, like you're doing the most. Like, one thing about Smiley, she's always gonna do the most, and I do feel like Smiley is kind of like good for TV, but the things that she be doing, the theatricals and the things that she be doing, it just be like, I'll be like, come on now, Smiley, like honestly, like you're really doing too much. Okay, so all the Bad Girls Club girls come to the, I guess, like meeting slash ball that they were supposed to be having and stuff. Lex get there and stuff, and instantly she goes after Tavi. She stated that she had a problem with Tavi because of they wound up like jumping her at the reunion, and she was like she never got her lick back. Now I'm like, Lex, how you didn't get your lick back when what I remember at Betty's Africa reunion is they wind up jumping Lex, Fauna, and Tavi, and I think Cold Killer a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. But after that, they all ran their one-on-ones. Like Fauna ran her one-on-one after they jumped Lex, and Tavi ran her one-on-one after she jumped Lex. So I'm like, Lex, how you didn't get your lick back if y'all got in a fight already? So it's like it was kind of like crazy to me. I'm like, Lex probably just tripping. Lex just want to get your camera time and just stay there. Like it was kind of like weird to me, honestly. Um, around that time, Smiley was still fussing with Biggie and stuff. She kept felt like she was running back and forth, behind the camera, and Biggie was telling her, get away from the camera, like you always wanted camera time, like come in front of the camera, like why you doing all that, like get in the paint, you feel me? So Tasiki goes up to Summer, and I guess she tried to talk to Summer about like the situation, and she was like she instantly wants to slap Summer for Summer talking about the allegations that Krishan had stated with Tasiki, did. I'm not gonna speak on that. Like if y'all know, y'all know. But y'all know it was like big allegations that Krishan had spoke on that Tasiki did to her, and Summer just repeated it, which I feel like she wasn't right for repeating it, because it's like at the end of the day that's still family business. But it's like it's kind of weird to me is the fact that Dolly and Lex is really not doing nothing, and I don't feel like they're obligated to do that. I feel like each season or each time they come together or they're in a group, it's like they take face for each other. Like it's plenty of times Lex got into an altercation with another person because of Summer, and it's pretty of the times that Bad Dolly got into an altercation because of Summer. Now the minute when the heavy hitters in the Malone sisters come, is like everybody, oh, I'm not fighting. I don't agree with Summer. I don't like the fact that Summer stated that. But it's like, if it was Scotty, y'all would have been jumping Scotty like y'all did on Baddies Midwest reunion. If it was anybody else, y'all would have jumped them. Like even if it was Ivory, like y'all jumped Ivory on Baddies Midwest reunion. So when it comes down to like Tasiki and Krishan, it's like y'all all mute, y'all all quiet. And that's something I really don't respect about Lex and Dolly. I feel like Summer stayed the same person she is. We know Summer is the type of person, she just say anything that comes out of her mouth. She don't think before she speak, and she just say things that I don't agree with it. But at the end of the day, that's who Summer is, and I get it. You feel me? And I do feel like she needs to change that because I feel like the things that she come out her mouth is really reckless. Her mouth is, very raw and uncut. But I just feel like, wait, pause, wait, pause. But it's just like, y'all know what I mean. Like she just say anything that come off her mouth. So I do feel like, Tasiki should say something about it and, probably like slap her around a little bit. But this is not something that should be, prolonged because I feel like it can't come off as bullying. It can't come off as, bashing. And Tasiki, I feel like it's not needed because honestly, Tasiki, you know what you could do. You know how your hands is. You know what you did to DTB face, with her tooth situation. Like, you know what you could do. And especially like to Summer, like a person that's very vocal about, and as we can see that she can't fight like that. You see what I'm saying? So for you to actually, be prolonging it, it's kind of not right, and it's coming off bullying for Tasiki. And honestly, I feel like she is doing this because of the fans. The fans did state it, every season that Tasiki was on, they felt like she was boring. So I feel like I blame the fans. I really don't. I blame Tasiki, but I feel like I blame the fans because now it's like she have to turn it up a notch and be something that she's not, because it's like honestly like she really was doing too much. And I feel like this season Tasiki is driving me, and especially she's driving Krishan at this point. uh so Anna tries to like sneak Smiley and stuff, and they try to like break it up. And y'all know how Smiley is. Smiley don't want to be running all these fades. Like she don't want to be fighting that a lot. She was stating that she needs some water, that she was kind of like weak and stuff. And she wound up like passing out. You know how Smiley is. One thing about Smiley, like she's gonna try to make a scene about her. I don't know if she's faking. I don't know if she's being real. Like we never know about nothing when it comes down to Smiley because she just such an actress. Like I just don't be understand. I don't know what's real or fake when it comes down to like Smiley. But she wound up like passing out on the ground, and then Anna killed me when she said, "Oh, Smiley catching a seizure." Whoop they do. I'm like, Anna, like at least have some sympathy a little bit. Like, even if that girl probably really is, going through that, like, have some sympathy. Like, don't be doing all that and stuff. But it was like, kind of like funny and stuff. I'm like, something wrong with Smiley. Sapphire was like, Smiley, we not doing this, Smiley. We not really doing this. Like, we not doing this today and stuff. And that was kind of like crazy and stuff. Production, what I'm calling the ambulance and stuff for Smiley, because y'all know how Smiley is. And then when the ambulance came, I was kind of like laughing at Sapphire and Suki, because Sapphire was telling Suki like be quiet, like the ambulance, y'all like be quiet. And Suki was like, why I gotta be quiet? It's not a damn funeral. Like, why I gotta be quiet? So she was like, well, Sapphire said, well, she's halfway, talking about like Smiley's halfway, from like dying and something. I'm like, Sapphire, like, oh my gosh, like y'all is cruel. Y'all not playing no games this season. Like, this is crazy. So they all go outside, while the ambulance is taking, Smiley and stuff, and they go back inside. Um, Krishan, voiced her opinion is like she was talking to Tommy, and she was saying that she just feel like she didn't like the fact that people is letting Tasiki fight, some about herself. And she said she feel like they fake clicked up. Like they really not cool. They do that for a storyline. They doing that for clickbait. Like they really not cool in real life and stuff. And I guess like Lex looked at that as like, oh, Krishan talking about me. So Krishan, Lex was like, Krishan, who you talking to? Like, and she was like, I just feel like y'all fake clicked up is like when it come down to anybody else, it's like y'all be picking and choosing. When it's anybody else, y'all jump and y'all tag team. But the minute is like, is with Tasiki, is like y'all all quiet and with y'all is mute. Honestly, I understand, where Krishan is coming from, because I feel like y'all do be picking and choosing. Y'all be doing things that y'all really like. If y'all feel like it's an easy fade, y'all gonna run there. Like if it was Tavi, if it was Fauna, if it was like K Rican, if it was anybody else, y'all would have gotten it. But the minute it's like Tasiki, everybody just mute, everybody just on the hush hush. Like, come on now, like y'all. Like I ain't gonna lie, it's like I looked at Lex and Dolly weird, but it's like I'm trying to put myself in Lex shoes, because it's like one thing about me, like I wouldn't handle it that way. If I'm gonna ride for my friend and that's my friend, I'm riding for my friend, wrong, right or wrong. Like even if I don't agree with my friend, saying those type of things, I'm still riding for my friend regardless. Even if that's my family, my friend, and especially if it's like a close friend, I'm riding from them regardless. So I feel like if you swing on my friend or if you swing on my family, like I don't care who you is, like I'm riding for that person. And it's like Lex and Dolly wasn't doing that. They was like, Tasiki, like you're doing too much, like chill out. Like she really don't want to fight you. And you could tell like Summer really didn't want to fight Tasiki. Like she kept backing up. She was telling like everybody to like grab Tasiki, like she's doing too much, like, and Tasiki just kept like on slapping Summer. And I'm like, it's coming off as bullying, and it's like really not right. And it's like I kind of like feel sad for Summer a little bit, because I feel like it's like, Tasiki, you're honestly really doing too much. Like you really is, and especially if it's something that's not needed, and especially for Summer. Summer is not a fighter, so why sit here and do all that? Yeah. So Krishan said, y'all know who to touch and who not to touch. And Tommy said, y'all shouldn't be fighting or anything. Y'all have like a dance battle. I'm like, Tommy, this is not the time to be doing Zumba. This is not the time to be, ballerina. Like, ain't nobody got time for this. This is bad. It's like, dance off is crazy. And then Suki came with, she want to see who suck D the best. I'm like, whoa, hold on. She's like, she never came for that. She came to have fun. I'm like, it's one thing about Suki and Tommy, they just gonna change a scenario or do something, and it's gonna bring like the laughter out of it, because it's like you could tell like nobody really wanted them to fight, and it's like they kept like prolonging the situation, and it's like they wanted to fight so bad, and like Suki and them was just trying to be like, like they like the comedians of the show, so it's like it's gonna bring like laughter when it comes down to them. That's what I really like about Suki and Tommy with her crazy self. Natika wants to sneak Tommy. She talked to Rolly, and she was like, Rolly, you ran into those bullets. I didn't. So like I got a problem with Tommy, for Tommy, sitting up putting on shooting me and stuff. Like I want to get there with Tommy. She instantly take a better runs up on Tommy and snatches Tommy wig off her head. Tommy said, she knew that it was coming because, from the situation that happened. But, Tommy didn't make a big deal of it. Tommy was like, at the end of the day, you got your leg bag, that's it. Like, call it quits. Like, it don't have to be like a big deal about that. And then I was laughing at Sapphire. Y'all, Sapphire came with the big pen. And her and Sukiana was writing in the book about all the drama that was happening. I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know where Sapphire get this pen from. But it's like, come on now. Like, and she was writing everything down too. Like, she had it down packed. She was like, I wrote Smiley, fall passing. I wrote Anna sneaking this person. I wrote, this person getting that. I'm like, oh my gosh, they doing too much. I was laughing at that. And then instantly, they started bringing up the situation again once Tasiki, about the summer situation. Then instantly, Tasiki was like, at the end of the day, Krishan, someone was like, we like you, Krishan, but it's just your sister. Like, talk to your sister. You feel me? Like, that sister business. Like, why is y'all add me in that? And Tasiki was like, yeah, like I said, that's my sister. That's my sister. And she slapped Summer again. And Summer was like, get her away from me. Like, what is y'all doing? Like, why y'all doing all that? And then you could tell like Summer really didn't want to fight Tasiki. And then Mariah Lynn's get in, Mariah Lynn Malone. Like she wants to get in to take that fade for Tasiki because she feel like Tasiki really gonna do something in. So now I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna, I guess prove her loyalty. I don't know what Mariah Lynn be doing, but she tried to get into a fight with Summer. Honestly, I feel like it was kind of, I would give it to Summer, but I could understand if people saying it was a tie. They both was swinging reckless. They both was swinging wild. Mariah Lynn had her head down the whole time. Summer had long arms. She had that reach. So I would say Summer got that a little bit. Um, or I can understand why people saying a tie. But I would lean more towards someone winning that fight. But it was like, it really wasn't much. It was kind of like a little scuffle, but it really wasn't much, honestly. So Mariah Lynn and Summer go back and forth, and they explain the reason why they had problems and stuff. And Summer stated that the reason why she had a problem with Mariah Lynn is because when it was at the auditions, Mariah Lynn had asked Summer to grab, I guess, a girl wig, and Summer grabbed the girl wig and gave it to Mariah Lynn. And Mariah Lynn had said if someone would have grabbed the wig, she would have gave Summer a ticket. And when Summer grabbed the wig and she gave it to Mariah Lynn was like, "Oh, F you, you're not getting a ticket now." And it's like, it's like someone looked at her crazy because it's like, you just said you was gonna give me a ticket if I grabbed the wig, but now it's like, I want to give me a ticket. So that's the reason why Summer snuck Mariah Lynn, at the auditions. So amongst them, all fussing and stuff like that about the situation with Summer, you know, Rolly was like, at the end of the day, Summer and Mariah and y'all squash our beef. Like, at the end of the day, like, y'all fought. Like, it is what it is. But she want to have a conversation with Tanisha because of, their feud on social media. So, Judy and, Sarah was calling Tanisha. And Tanisha's like, what she want to talk to me for? And Rhoda's like she really want to talk to Tanisha because the social media thing, and the incident started talking and stuff, and Rhoda was like she had a problem, with Tanisha because Tanisha had mentioned something about, I guess, Rolly being a bully on Baddies. I think it was Baddies Midwest when it came down to like this Slim situation, and which I feel like Rolly was because at the end of the day, once upon a time, Slim was Rolly's friend, and I don't feel like it should have been, prolonged and having her be her assistant and dragging it like it was like she was kind of like they was kind of like bullying Slim, and I feel like Slim allowed that in a way because it's like why would you agree to be a person assistant? Like I wouldn't have never agreed to that just to get camera time or just get a few dollars. Like I don't even put it like that. Like there's no amount of money in this world would have me become a assistant to somebody that used to be my friend. Like I'm not doing all that. Like that's ridiculous just for a couple of dollars. Like I wouldn't do that. So Tanisha was like, I mean, Rolly said that basically, she was like, what y'all had going on Bad Girls Club, like we didn't understand what y'all went through. You see what I'm saying? But we always was on the outside looking in. But when, it's like I always looked at Tanisha as, as being the OG bad girl, you feel me? And like she felt like, that's the best bad girl of all time. Like she admired Tanisha and she was like, to say for you to say that about me is like she felt some type of way about that. And Tanisha was like, she do apologize. She said, but she felt like Rolly she thought it was a situation that happened with Tanisha because Tanisha had like a T page or like a blog page about her posting about that, and Rolly was like, no, it wasn't about that. It was about the Slim situation, and she was like, she do apologize, and she was like, this is what Bad Girls Club was about. Like Bad Girls Club wasn't just about like fighting. It was about sisterhood. It was about learning from your mistakes and growing as a person. And by Rolly apologizing to her, she was like she really did love that that Rolly actually did that, and she was like she loved that about by Rolly doing it, and she was like that's what Bad Girls Club was about. Like when it comes down to like baddies, it's like baddies people fighting for no reason. Like when it came down to like Bad Girls Club, it's like you go in there being a bad girl, but you leave from the experience being a person. It's like you're not a girl no more once you leave that experiment, because it's like Bad Girls Club was a social experiment. It was to get girls that came from different walks of life, that had like a past, that was like a bully once upon a time, that was crazy. It's like they put them in a household that people that match their energies. It's like kind of like was a jail, I would say, but it's like a free jail. Like they couldn't leave as they please, like jail is. Like they had to get approved for things to leave the house. Everybody felt like it was a fun experience, but a lot of the girls that was on the show, they stated that it was a bad experience for them. A lot of them got PTSD. A lot of them had to watch the show, and it's like they learned from their experiments and they grew as a person, and it's like it made them closer to the girls from different seasons, and also made the girls closer that was on that season. So baddest people fighting for no reason is like Bad Girls Club. People learn from their mistakes, and it was about sisterhood. And I feel like a lot of shows they try to like mimic Bad Girls Club, but it's like it could never be replicated, it could never be duplicated. It's just at that time that was like an error, and that error would never be the same. It can't be replicated, honestly. So I respect Rolly for talking to Tanisha, and because Tanisha thought she was trying to fight her. Tanisha said she was ready. I was laughing on live because Tanisha was talking to Amber. She's like, she expected, I think she said she expected Krishan to come at her stupid, and she said somebody else. But she was like, she was ready. She had all kind of weapons on her and stuff. Like, I don't know. Tanisha was strapped. One thing about Tanisha's hilarious. Tanisha's funny, but I really did like the fact that they did squash their beef because it wasn't nothing big. Limit came in also as well, and he stated that this season he did want it to have all the girls on one season and stuff, and he was like he don't know for sure if Natalie going to be staying long term or popping in pop it out, but he did want to see if it could be a person to stand besides Natalie or cough cough replace Natalie, because I feel like that's what he was throwing it by him saying it. Because Natalie, she hasn't been the best executive producer, and there's a lot of things that be going on behind the scenes that we don't know about and stuff when it comes down to Natalie and Lemmy. And It's just he felt like, he just tired going through it with, Natalie and stuff. He's looking for a person, to step up, to stand beside her or take her spot, honestly. Which I feel like, me personally, if I had to decide who should be the executive producer, I feel like Tanisha, because all the Bad Girls Club people and a lot of people respect Tanisha, how she carry herself. She carry herself as an executive producer. She's not cocky. She's not very arrogant. Like, she's very humble. And I don't feel like Tanisha is very greedy. I feel like she's good to work with. I feel like Zeus team love to work with Tanisha. I feel like she should be one of the executive producers, or Rolly. Do feel like a lot of people respect Rolly as well. When it comes down to that, so I feel like it should be either Rolly or Tanisha to be the executive producer, or be like runner ups of to be the executive producer on Baddies. Um, Hopefully they have them to do something, dealing with, Baddies USA Chapter 2, because they'll be doing that as well. Then Lemmy also stated that he want, Scotty to announce the news to everybody, because she just announced it to like some of the mothers, but she didn't announce it to everybody just in case, nobody run up on her or sneak her. But she did come out with it, and say that she was pregnant and stuff. Everybody got, was excited about, Scotty being pregnant, and everybody congratulated her. Tinkerbella was like, Scotty don't let anybody touch your, stomach and stuff. And y'all know that's like a thing, that, a lot of people, you don't want to put too many spirits or bad energies on somebody, stomach and stuff. So it's like, she's like, nobody, don't let nobody touch your stomach and stuff. So I respect that, about it. But everybody went on a good path. Everybody left. And then they goes to Washington D.C., where things get hectic with Krishan and Tasiki. Honestly, like, I was kind of like confused about it and stuff, and I feel like Tasiki is doing so much for the cameras, because it's like Tasiki had a problem with Marsh coming on the show, but Marsh is not on the show. She was just there as Krishan's friend, but I guess Krishan was taking her Marsh with her on to Washington D.C., and I guess Tasiki really didn't like that. So I don't know who put it in Tasiki's ear to go tell something to Krishan on Marsh, and I was like, Tasiki just turned into the Hulk and she wants to fight everybody. But I'm like, I'm kind of confused with Tasiki, and I feel like she is doing that for cameras, because it's like 2 weeks prior, before the show even filmed, Krishan and Tasiki had one of squashing their beef. I don't know if it was like on chaotic YouTube or something, but Krishan and Tasiki wound up squashing their beef, and also Tasiki and Marsh. Like, they was all hugged up, talking. Marsh was even there during the dinner scene. She was there like behind the scenes and stuff, behind there. And then like they was all cool. So like, why get on the show and just be like, now you want to fight this person? Like, it was kind of weird. Like, I was like, Tasiki honestly doing too much, and I really don't like Tasiki this season. Everybody, get up to go to Washington D.C., and that's where the episode end off of episode 2 of Baddies USA. But the next episode looked like it's gonna be crazy. It looked like we're getting Tinkerbella versus Dolly. Oh, they did fight at the end. And the reason why they fought on episode 2 at the end, because I don't know. It was like they say they felt like Tinkerbella was picking a little bit at the girl, at Dolly and stuff. And then Tinkerbella said Dolly had made a comment to DCB that she was gonna get Tinkerbella, so that's why they was fighting. Which I was looking at them kind of weird, because it's like they was all just singing "Baddie Party," and then instantly someone said something about Tinkerbella and Bad Dolly, and then they started fighting. But that's how like the episode end off, was kind of like crazy and stuff. But that's why the episode end off. It looked like next episode we're getting Tinkerbella versus Dolly. It looked like we're getting Tasiki versus Summer once again, which I'm tired of. It looked like we're getting Cold Killer versus Tinkerbella, and it looked like Tinkerbella scalped Cold Killer from the roots. I don't know if she had a braid in or braid back, like scrapped her up. Like, I was like, damn, that's bad. I know that's bad. She gonna need a lot of castor oil to grow that hair. But Cold Killer got good hair. And then now we're seeing the feud with Summer, Dolly, and Lex crumbling up. Lex telling Summer shut up. Dolly saying stay out of this, like, to Summer, because Summer always mentioning something. But I'm like, y'all was never like, Summer always been like this. Like, she's always been this way. And then now it's like the Malone sisters come, the heavy hitters come. It's like now y'all putting Summer in her place. It's like I look at Lex and Dolly weird, honestly. Like, y'all was supposed to ride for your friend, and y'all really not riding for a friend. I feel like Summer's the only person that's standing up for herself, and it's kind of strange to me. But that is for the video, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will be doing Baddies recap episode 3. So y'all make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And join the gang, you feel me? As always, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. As always, be breezy, don't be easy. Yeah, us.
What can I say? Can you blame? She wanna be paid. Never stress, I'm blessed what I say. I don't care what nobody say. I am lit. What can I say? Yeah.